So I like to refer to myself as someone who is spiritually aware and just conscious within myself, and obviously I try and share that vibe with everyone else. But then it's like, you see how people who fit into certain boxes kind of create their own starter packs for themselves. Like if you're spiritual, then you have to have crystals and tarot and sage and meditation, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's not the same for everyone. I literally started out with none of these. Well, I started out with meditation, but I started out with none of these things, and I don't think anyone should ever be the same. You don't have to dress the same or look the same to express certain things, and we get so drawn into these characters, and it's like, who created these characters, and why should I have to comply to that? Why should any of us have to comply to that? It makes no sense whatsoever. And this conversation is just an invite into asking you, like, what do you really want for yourself? You are so powerful, magnetic, electric, so individual. You have that divine God spark within you. So who do you actually want to be in life? Not what the system, what this matrix tells you to be. Like, who are you? Let's find out. Everyone, hello and welcome. I am Nakaira. Thank you so much for being present in this video. I welcome you in. Just to remind everyone, this is a sacred space of conversation, so I'm going to be touching on the topic, but feel free to add your own points and everything as well. So today I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't live in someone else's story, and why you should be here, be present, be now, and why you should focus on, you know, focus on your own energy, but I mean more so like focus on creating your own story instead of living in everybody else's narratives. So let's really dive deep into this. I hope you guys really receive this message well, because it's such a powerful one and it's such a life-changing one. So let's go. Everything we know is based off of dead people, and again, if you have a problem with death, or if that word is triggering at the moment, I'm so sorry. This video may not be for you, just because I might bring it up just a bit more, but I welcome you in. Honestly, it's not going to be like a heavy conversation around death. It's just more so I'm going to mention the word. But yeah, so literally I'm going to mention trains, right? We ride I don't even know how to really get this idea out of my head, but I'm going to try my best. Basically, we ride trains, we drive cars, we walk on pavements, right? Pavement are designed by some bloke back in the something hundreds, dead guy. Trains designed by some bloke in the something hundreds, dead guy. Cars designed by some person in the something hundreds, dead person. You think you decided your day today. You think you decided your day today, when really the person that designed the railway, the person that said the train's gonna arrive here at 8:30 a.m. designed your day today. They contributed towards your life. They said that the train was going to be there. You have no option or decision in that. You just know that the train, you just know through going on Google or whatever, that the train's going to be there for that time and you're going to get on it. Someone else has chosen what you're going to do today. That person said, that person, and I think that might be like the train conductor or something. Pardon me for burping, by the way. But yeah, that might be the train conductor or something. And then the train conductor's been like, yeah, the train comes at 8:30. If you want to get on it, get on it. If you're not going to get on it, you're going to miss it. That simple. And then so your life is literally designed around what someone else has said. You get in a car every day and you think you decided to get in that car, and it's like, no, just because of your environment, everyone where you're from rides cars. If you're in an environment where everyone rode horses, it would be the same kind of thing. So it's like, it's not necessarily a choice that you've made. You're not even designing your day. Things are given to you, things are placed in your reality. And even myself, I do it all the time, but I find that people love boxes, and people don't realise how much these boxes destroy us. So I want to give like examples in society where we just put ourselves in a box. So one, the roadman, right? So the roadman, and it's such a shame as well, but the roadman, we all know a good roadman, right? So the roadman will be like, yeah, these are my ends, and this is this, and this is that. And it's like, these are not your ends. This is not this is not that. You know, what has contributed to you being this roadman, this character within this story or this matrix, right? The people who built this block that you domain, like, you know what I mean? The outfits that you wear are bought to you and targeted to you by big companies that you don't know, and they just target them to you simply because they know that you will spend the money on it, not necessarily because they care about you or know anything about you and your personal life passion. But again, I'll get onto that. So yeah, you call yourself a roadman, you're out on the streets, and again, this isn't judging as well. I just really want to home in on the points so everyone knows where these stories and narratives and programmings are coming from. So because your environment's like set up in a certain type of way, you claim this, like, and you really go through struggles for this title, this character that you created for yourself, just because, I don't know, maybe you grew up seeing other road men and you looked up to them, so now you have like a desire to be like that. So we know that men love to be like warriors and the protectors, and they have like a lot of fiery energy naturally, just because the masculine is the electric, so it's like zap and bam and fiery, naturally fiery. So men like to do men like things, you know what I mean? That just comes with the masculinity and the testosterone. And then so society sees this and then helps you just to become another box within their list. They're just like, yeah, we need roadmen, we need doctors, we need, you know what I mean, we need school kids, you know what I mean? So that, like, this list has like been pre-scripted for everyone, and they're just like, yeah, well, you've got the energy for this, so you fit into this. And then what happens, and what ends up happening, is that you convince yourself that this is what you've chosen for yourself. And I really want to like get into the point that that is not that. I hear a lot of guys just being like, yeah, that's just life, innit? And it's just like, that's your character's life, that's your programming's life, that's something of your programming, that's something that comes with that program. But you, the individual who just grew up and just ended up getting like, it's not even a choice. Like, that's the whole purpose of this video. It's not even a choice. Like, people are literally just being drawn into these characters. And yeah, so a lot of people are walking around and they're alive, but they're not living, like, and you're not contributing who you truly are to this reality, which is crazy. You don't give yourself a chance to meet yourself again and again and again. Like, you should create something. And I'm even gonna tap into that as well. Like, a creation is your child. I think it's in like Kemetic theology, and well, I shouldn't even call it a theology, but I will do today just so everyone just reaches a middle ground. So in Kemetic theology, one of the most sacred things that you can do is have a child, and that symbolizes your sun rising, right? So what is your sun rising? Your core is your solar plexus chakra, so that is your sun. And then you put your sun into, your sun is basically like your idea, your mission, your purpose in life, that God spark within you. And then you have a child, and then so when you're raising your child, you are seeing your sun rise. It could be a daughter too, it doesn't have to be a boy. So you're seeing your sun rise. I feel like basically our contributions to this world, our creations, our businesses, our ideas, our passions, and the things that we create from within come from the same space that our children do. It comes from that energy, it comes from that core space, it comes from the solar plexus, it comes from that sacred I am. Not I am as an ego. And that's like, this is what I'm trying to get at, like that line is so thin between the I am of your character, so being the roadman or the spiritual girl or the popular kid or the, like, you know what I mean? But there's so many characters in this matrix, but it's the same thing that applies. Like, there is that egoic I am, and then there is the true I am, and you get to see this I am each day as you step in alignment with your purpose. It's easier for you to step in alignment with your purpose when you're focusing on your own creations and not continuing the narratives of those that have come before us. So I'll just give an example so everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, I had a falling out with my parents, as per usual. You know, we're just different people from different eras, and I believe in communication, whereas they weren't brought up like that. And I was really putting weight on my own shoulders, being like, I need to get them to see where I'm coming from. I need to teach them, well, not even teach them, but truly show them and hold space for them to understand where I'm coming from. And that is valuable, you know, communication is valuable. However, I cannot make a horse drink water. I can't. It's not my weight to carry. And what we end up doing is carrying the weight of other people. If I try to get anyone to see from my point of view, or try, like, do you know what I mean, try to get them to see from my point of view, they won't be able to. They're not me, first of all, but just not even that, they've had their own experiences on this life journey in their own life paths, and then they've responded to those triggers in their own way as well. So it's not only the programming that I would have to help them to decipher if I was to try and help them, it would be the emotions of that, it would be everything and in between that comes with it. And then so recently, like, that was really on my mind, because it's like, oh, but communication is valuable, like I need to talk with them and hold space for them to do this, that and the third. But I'm not here for that. Like, that is not my job, that is not my role. The only thing that I can do is be my greatest be. And what I mean by that is not to avoid any issues between us, but more so hold space firstly for myself to grow, spend my energy that I was going to spend on my parents trying to convince them my point of view, instead of wasting my energy doing that. Because again, my parents are big people, you know, that's a long time, that's many years of programming that I'd have to walk through with them to even get them to point one. Do you understand? So instead of wasting all of that energy on them, conserve my energy for myself, create a space that is safe for myself, then extend that space to where I can be stable enough to provide space and just a break from my parents and things like that. Or even if I was to drop a point, would even have time to think about it, because 9 AM tomorrow you're gonna be at work, right? So instead of wasting my energy trying to combat all of that, trying to deal with the emotions of that, trying to deal with the karma of that, and the reason why I say karma as well is because certain things that I was facing personally, and again, I'm not going to really out my business, but I will welcome you guys in. Certain things that I was facing personally have to do with my parents' own karma, and unfortunately their karma has an effect on me, because again, I am the child, I am the bridge between the both of them. So I am the sun rising that I mentioned before, right? So anything that's to do with my parents is to do with me. However, should I choose to attach myself to that emotionally? No, because emotion and money, honestly, I don't see the difference. I don't see the difference, and for me that's not a good investment, not when I know that I can invest my energy elsewhere. What I've chosen to do instead is to be like the flower, to be like water, to be like the air, and just bloom, just be fresh, just treat everything anew. To be like butter, I mean, it's just to be smooth, like if anything pops up, just smooth over it, because I recognize that I have faith in everyone around me. I have faith in my parents, I have faith in my family, I have faith in my community, and I have faith in you watching this video. And I fully believe through patience, through just waiting, through just being in bloom and just allowing everything to flow through, what will happen, and I have full faith that everyone in this life will learn what they need to learn in their own timing. It's not for me to come with a force just because I believe in this idyllic vision of happy family and healing and generational wealth and all of that business. Just because I have this idea doesn't mean it's going to happen within my timing. Everything happens within divine timing, and I have full faith that everyone will heal and get to know what they need to know for themselves in their own life journeys. And I said dead horse, but you just can't force a horse to drink water. You can bring it there to the lake and just be like, hey, I know you're thirsty, like come drink the water, you know you want to drink it, but is the horse going to drink the water? No, because it's not through their own will. And even as well, just touching a little bit deeper, when you try and not even enlighten, because who am I to enlighten anyone? But again, maybe that's something that I need to work on as well. But regardless, when you try to fast track someone else's journey, open doors for them, you try to feed them, you try to nurture them, in some ways that can be so detrimental to their own journey, because those doors that you're opening for them, they should have learned to open for themselves. And what's going to happen when you're not around? How will they open these doors? Like, I would want people to feed themselves, to nourish themselves, to know how to love themselves, so that I can love onto them. And then because they would be doing that for themselves, I can then meet them halfway. And I believe that the Creator does that with us. You know, when we start to make more positive choices, when we start to, you know, live in a way that is greatest for ourselves, then the Creator's like, oh, okay, blessing, let's see what you do with that. Oh, okay, blessing, let's see what you do with that. And it's like little increments over time. And so, you know, when you try and shoulder someone else's burdens, shoulder someone else's karma, shoulder someone else's programming, it's such a waste of energy. Like, and then if they make changes through their own will, it's like a cherry on top of the cake, because they've done it and you've seen them do it, even though it was so difficult for them to do. Instead of you just being like, nah, like I'm upset with this and this isn't like this, so this needs to be like this and you need to learn, and then that person learns, but it's not through their own will. You're kind of just bringing that to their reality. That was a force. Not that I don't deal with force, because I feel like force also serves a purpose, but sometimes you have to know when to use the force, or when to use the fork and when to use the knife. Definitely. So I watched a powerful video about this girl who said, be careful when you say yes to certain things, or when you say I'm sorry to certain things. And she gave an example about Starbucks, and I will link the video in the description, because that little shift in perspective, or that little awakening, was just so powerful for me. But basically, I used to work in Starbucks actually. I used to work in Starbucks at the airport, and I used to work there at 4 AM, and I used to love it actually. I used to watch the sunrise. And when you're there, even though I never said I'm sorry myself, because I was at the back, you can end up saying I'm sorry. But then what this young goddess has said is, don't say I'm sorry for someone else's business. Don't say I'm sorry for someone else's business. And it goes back to me saying about my parents shouldering someone else's karma. I'm taking on worrying about, oh, are my parents going to understand this or understand that? And it's like, why am I worrying about their level of, not level, but why am I worrying myself about their perspective of understanding? Their perspective of understanding has come from their experiences on this earth plane. It has nothing to do with me. So if they misunderstand something that I've said, the only way that I can overcome that, and the most powerful way to overcome that, is with love, and just be like, you know what, I get it. You guys won't understand me right now, and that's cool. I have patience. I believe that we'll work through this with love. Same thing with Starbucks. Well, not just the same thing with Starbucks, but an even deeper point with Starbucks is that when you're saying I'm sorry, it's like, why are you, kings, queens, sovereign beings watching this video, why are you sorry for Starbucks? Like, sorry to Starbucks' customers for Starbucks. You being in Starbucks, like, you're just passing through that space trying to make a little bit of bread. This ain't your business. This is not for your energy to be sorry. It's not for your being to be saying sorry to anyone outside of self, when this ain't yours. Like, even just certain stupid things that we attach ourselves to on the day-to-day basis. Like, I'll give another example. I moved to where I am now currently, and I'm about to move out. But I moved to where I am currently, and I allowed certain disturbances to happen to me, and I was so upset by them because it was in my environment, in my close space. But then I realized, and I had to just remind myself, like, hey, hello, hi, you are just passing through this space. You are just passing through. Do not attach yourself to anything that happens in this environment. Just operate with love. Do what you do what you need to do. Get your little energy up, and if you're in a work job, get your little bread. And when you've done what you've done in this space, and the space has served its purpose, say goodbye and just release. We get so caught up, and the system knows this to the T and to the bone. The system knows this. They know that we are just hive-like and hive-minded, so our energy will flow regardless. So they create streams and lanes for our energy to flow into. And again, so this conversation is a reminder, like, hey, get hold of your energy, take it back, decide where it's going to go to. Don't put it into your character, your egoic character. Put it into the real I am. Ask a silly question. And I mean a silly question because more than likely, if you're watching this channel, you've definitely asked yourself this, but I'm going to ask it you anyway. Have you ever asked yourself who you truly are without any of these external personalities influencing you? Have you ever sat down and just drawn out who you resonate with? Have you ever drawn out that aspect of you that you really crave for or really desire? If you haven't, do it. It's a great practice. I do it as a part of art therapy. But yeah, just do that. Make sure to do that, honestly. it will be such a powerful practice. I want to say thank you so much for being conscious, loving of self, and just present with me during this video. Again, everything that I say is such a discussion. I want this to be an open space. If you've not resonated with anything that I've said, if you've been triggered, if you've been inspired, if you've been motivated, let me know down in the comments. Like, and if you've got any like thoughts or anything, let me know. I would love to expand on what we spoke about today, what we've reasoned about. And yeah, thank you so much for being present with me. I appreciate you. Have a blessed evening wherever you are, and have a powerful day. Bye.